Y'all to the Reality or Not podcast with your boy DJ Reality, your boy Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun, and then we got my nephew over here, L. How you doing, L?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Good energy. Just trying to figure out. Just had some good breakfast with you. Good conversations. It's always things that's welcome. Brian, how you doing today?
Hey, you know I'm blessed and impressed with the life God gave me. What about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I woke up, got up, did a workout. A little bit tired, but I'm figuring it out.
Did you climb the mountain today?
Huh?
Did you climb the mountain today?
Nah, I was, but it was raining this morning. Now we had talked about it, but with the rain, I was like, nah, I just went to a cycling class and called it a day.
All right. L, did Shantae tell you that I fell 3 times coming down the mountain?
No.
Nah,
I bust my ass.
I did not divulge
3
that.
times. Hey, it's all good. I'm okay with it. There was no cameras, but like I fell. I definitely fell. Like this, this was right, man. Going up, I had no problems. Other people slipping, I was good. But then going down, dog, I bust my ass 3 times.
Yeah. Look, the worst one, because like we were at the end,
at the bottom.
That was the one I was like, damn, that was one to grow on.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, but that was a lesson to me, man. Because like I when I stepped and like it was just a step down, like my foot just said, "See ya." Like we ain't on solid ground, right? It was see ya, and that was the one that hit the hardest because I fell straight on my butt. Like I know how to fall. But that one was unexpected, and it. But again, I look for metaphors in life, and it's like, yo, you fall on your butt, you get back up, and like keep it moving.
What was that Dwayne Wade? You fall 7 times, you get up on the 8th, whatever, or you fall 8 times.
That's actually a Japanese saying. Like if you fall 5 times, you get up 6.
Yep.
So yeah, I was just actually peeping that.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I remember. I was coming out of my apartment in Spartan, at Michigan State in Spartan Village, and wasn't nobody around. No, but I did not see this slick ice that was in front of it, and I felt like a cartoon. Like it was like a whoa, whoa,
legs
whoa,
up.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, you were moving the legs like you were.
Whoa. Man, that was the most painful fall ever because I didn't brace or catch myself. It was just background, like, but nobody was around. You try to get up quick so can't nobody notice the shit. But yeah, that shit hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, the other falls was cool because like I was telling Sean and his boy, what's the doctor's name? OC. Yeah, I was like, I know how to fall because I don't got good insurance. I don't have no insurance right now, no healthcare insurance. So I got to work on that.
So you got to fall on the side.
You got to fall and slide through it, right? Yeah, fall and slide. Don't hit blunt objects. Like, yeah, you.
Mm-hmm. Like, well, let's go ahead and jump right into it. What do we want to talk about right now? What we got? So one of the topics is man's laws. Brian, I'm gonna ask you this question, or I can just start it off. Particular laws that I have, and it's the question that typical laws that I have as far as being a man, right? Like being a grown up.
What are some laws that constitute being a man? Like, what laws do men follow? What, in your eyes, what laws do men follow to be a man?
Okay, I'll say this. One thing I think that sticks out to me the most is I listened to the Noriega Drink Champs podcast. And they always ask, they go back and forth with the questions, and they always ask, like, what do you have? Do you believe more in respect, or do you believe more in loyalty? And I abide by both, so those are the laws, like respect, loyalty, perseverance, just being, or the respect part, just understanding the people that you're talking to and making sure that they, can identify with what they're going through with you, and the same thing back and forth, and just having a mutual respect in general. And then I go, loyalty is like, well, you don't have to be loyal to a fault. Like, you're not just do it just because that's your uncle, but you're going to be loyal just because that person is there for you. And back and forth, like, you're my nephew, I'm loyal to you. I'm not going to be loyal just because if you do some stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be loyal. I'm going to be respectful in the sense to try to help you figure out the move, you know what I'm saying? So it's like balances between the things I mentioned. What about you?
being able to take constructive criticism. I believe that's a big piece of being a man.
Especially if you can talk into the mic, move the mic a little bit more because like it's really low.
All right, and I also speak up too. That y'all talking all loud and interjecting. I'm over here trying to.
Yeah, we got to bring the power. We got to bring the energy.
Trying to whisper
energy exudes energy.
So even that energy piece of that being the man, you have to be able to, I believe, anyways, create the energy in the environment that you're going into.
Yeah.
And then also back into that, because being able to take constructive criticism to be able to grow. Because if we're not growing, we're dying. So and especially being that. From my beliefs and my faith, the man was created to lead. And so again, that comes into that constructive criticism, being able to lead. So you got to be able to answer what people are saying. Hey, I think you do this better, or you did this type of way, and be able to take that and then grow from that. And being a teacher, I know obviously women can teach as well. However, I do believe that's a part of that manhood as well, as being able to teach and delegate.
Okay, we go past it to you, Brian. But one thing I want to ask Elle is that when you're trying to focus on your environment and making sure that the energy is there, how do you move through that when you're when you feel like it can be detrimental to your health or it's not being beneficial to you or even that person or the people that's within your circle? Like, how do you find balance within that?
Right.
So something I've been learning from you actually, and that's for one, loving myself and being able to say no.
Protecting your energy.
Thank you. Protecting my energy.
Okay.
That's actually, I think, answers that whole thing. It's just knowing how to protect your energy by protecting yourself first and understanding what you do want and what you don't want. And then when what you don't want comes around, being able to say, no, I don't want this. And if you don't like it, that's between you and you.
Yeah.
And basically keep it moving. So,
okay. What about you, Brian? What are your man laws?
Yo, first and foremost, my man law is to be a man of your word. When you stand on your word and care about your word. So like if I'm making promises, I'm going to keep them. So the first law of being a man is being able to stand on your word and commit. And then on top of that, when you know you can't stand on your word, be like we just talked about it before, be proactive than reactive. Like, yo, I don't have your money, but I'm working on it. Let me, like, I got you, right? I'll get you a schedule. As soon as I get the schedule, you'll know. So that's the number one thing. Be a man of your word. Don't commit to nothing that you don't think you can stick to. And the other part about it is, not only be a man of your word, but step in confidence. So like, men, like once you make your decision, have confidence in your decision. So like, don't waver. Don't waver. Just go into your decision. So like that's my number 1 and 2 laws of being the man that shaped me. And 3, I'm gonna say lead by example, right? So not only, as you can hear my grandson, not only are you looking at yourself, but other people are looking at you. So make moves accordingly, right? And so like when I say make moves accordingly, it's like never ask somebody to do something you wouldn't do, right? Or never ask somebody to do something that you didn't do. Then you're faking the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, it's always hard, protecting your energy, especially within family, because sometimes I feel like you have to be very strict on that. Not necessarily strict, but you have to be very, like say for instance, somebody comes to my house. Not to say I have certain rules, but I have certain rules on, how you move around. But I'm not going to sit up there and walk around you and be like, hey, look, to protect my peace. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, look, don't turn my heat up to 75. Like, don't fuck with my shit. Like, it's hot in this bitch. I'm not trying to deal. Like, nigga, like, even when I told you earlier with Apollo, like, I'm very particular about, like, lady doesn't walk, like my dog, lady, she doesn't walk on the carpet. And I don't like dogs on the carpet. I mean, I got to fucking vacuum. And that shit annoys. I hate fucking vacuuming when I got all wood floors. But all that being said, it's just little things like that, I'm not saying it to, try to control you. I'm saying it to protect the elements so we keep the same, or we keep good energy. Because the problem that, like, say for instance, and I don't want to go into the mama trauma, but at the same time, like,
mama trauma,
right? I got the mama trauma, man. It's the trauma that that you don't know until it becomes a thing. And I say that as in, like, say for instance, Elle is at mom's house, and Elle is staying there for, like, I don't know, like a few days, and she'll call me and say, Elle ain't washed the dishes, and I'll be like, did you ask him to wash the dishes?
Right.
And she'll say, well, no, he's supposed to know he's supposed to wash the dishes. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. Like, if I want you to do anything, like when you came in the house, I was like, hey, look, not that it was a demand or anything like that. I was like, but hey, I need your help getting this light fixed. I need your help with this antenna. I need your help with this. If you can do it, that's fine. If not, I don't expect it. I don't expect you to have to do it. But if you want to do it, then I'm going to ask you to do it. You say, look, nigga, if you say, hey, I don't want to do the light, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, fuck you. But
I mean, ain't some of that. I push back a little bit on that, because some of that is like there's rules to being at somebody's house, right? When you're at somebody's house, to me, when I'm at somebody's house, I'm trying not to cause. I'm trying to not cause them any extra, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I came up your.
What you got that nigga doing back there? That nigga is very active. What the?
He is playing with the dinosaur. He is playing with the dinosaur.
He's like, let me on the fucking pod. Like, this is what, like, you got L on this bitch. It's like, I'm about to be on this bitch too.
Yeah, he is. He ain't been here in about 2.5 weeks. So, like, he's just happy to be back in Florida, I guess. We was all in Michigan. Hey, is it good? Is it? And the dinosaurs make noise themselves, right? He got some of the nicest dinosaur toys I've ever seen in my life. Like,
oh, damn,
that's cool.
Our toys are just strictly plastic. Like, they did nothing.
And then, like, I mean, this is a real.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's some AI toys,
right?
Yeah, but like, there's etiquette to coming over somebody's house, especially being a guest, and like having guests over your house. And like you said, Sean, you kind of set those parameters. Mm-hmm. And like, when I come over somebody's house, I'm trying not to, like, I ain't gonna take a 45-minute shower. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, this part about being raised right? And so, like, if they prepared the meal and like they didn't did everything to prepare the meal, like, why wouldn't I wash the dishes? You know what I'm saying? Like, or why wouldn't I offer to wash the dishes?
I put it like this: I wouldn't expect them to wash the dishes. Like, if I say, hey, can you? This is what I'm saying. Like, if you can, the thing is, everybody can't read your mind, right?
Right.
So, setting the expectations in your head versus like say for instance, you say, well, you should wash the dishes. I don't think Elle would have a problem with washing the dishes, but if Elle doesn't wash the dishes, you get mad at him for not washing them, but you didn't say anything about washing them, is what I'm saying. Like, it's just like you come over and it's like with dating and doing all of these things. It's like, I remember one time this woman told me, she was like, yeah, I'm not going out on a first date unless it costs at least $300. And I was like, damn. I was like, I won't date you. Like, I literally in my head, I was like she was right here. I was like, yeah, she that. And then like she got down to here real quick. And then it became not an interrogation thing, but it became like a, why do you think like that? But she will never get back up here again. So, and that's why I always tell people all the time, like, I try to be careful or cautious of asking certain questions, because honestly, say for instance, in that scenario, I didn't care what answer she gave me at that point in time when she said it. I wasn't gonna fuck with her. So it's a waste of my time and hers. But like I'm saying, with my mom, sometimes she'll think in her head, and I had to get out of this because it's like kind of a thing that was not say hereditary, but it was a thing that was handed down to think a certain way based off of the way that I'm thinking versus the way I expect somebody else to think. And we were talking about this in the other pod about, just you had mentioned it as far as the idea of common sense. It's like, yeah, we expect you to understand common sense, but everybody's common sense isn't the same,
Yeah, that's wild. But like, Elle, so I'm gonna push this to you, because like you've been that you're You
Why
younger. Yeah, you
No.
burden.
No.
Why you?
You getting your steps. You getting your steps in, right? You ain't unk yet. So like when you over somebody's house, like I was just over Shantae's house, right?
Mhm.
Like, do you feel like when you leave, do you take all the covers off and be like, yo, do you put them in a washer? Like, what is a person's responsibility when they come over somebody's house as a guest? They come over somebody's house.
So I believe that's relative also to how long you're staying at said place. So like when I got in last night, first thing I did was took trash out. I know trash need to be taken out. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and do that real quick.
I appreciate it.
You bless me. You bless me every time I come, whether it's with shoes or getting somewhere to lay my head at somewhere. You know, I'm not doing it because I know you're going to give me something.
Yeah.
However, I know that you value me as a person. You love me. You're gonna, if I need anything, you're gonna handle that. And so it's like the least I can do is take your trash out. Yeah. You know, when you were sweeping up the leaves from the front door and I was gonna try to come do that. He's like, no, I got it. You good. Like, I just brought that in with my dog. Like, the least I can do is get that up. And so like with the beds, like if I'm staying at Airbnb, if I'm there over a week, I go ahead and take the sheets and stuff off and so they can wash them. If they got a washer, I'll throw them in the washer and dryer for them. Like, hey, the stuff's in the washer, the dryer, you can just take it out when y'all come clean up the house or whatever. But again, I don't personally feel like it's expected of me to come and do anything extra outside of just come and be. I think that does add value to me in a sense of they're going to want me to come back or they accept me coming back or will never necessarily tell me no because they like, okay, well, I ain't got to worry about him when he come over here. He's always going to add value to what I got going on. And or you're going to probably want to do some extra for me because every time I show up, I'm adding some type of value.
Now, and to add to that, like say for instance, with as an example, the whole sheet thing, you know, before he got here, I went down. I mean, I watched all of the sheets, watched everything, made sure, and I just got back from I was out. I was like, well, I hadn't had a chance to put on it, but I was like, well, he can do that. Then I was like, well, no, I have the time. Let me go ahead and put the sheets, the blankets, all that stuff on there. And I literally just put it on there. And the only reason I hadn't put it on there because the main comfort, as an example, wasn't dry. But other than that, I'm trying to make sure that he comes into a comfortable space to be able to feel like, okay, I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but if I had, you know, I probably got 3 coffee cups in a sink or something like that. And if he don't wash them, I'm not going to be mad at him for not washing them. For one, he didn't use them. And 2, I just don't hold that. I had to learn a different behavior on holding on to things. Like I could either find a reason to be mad at you or I could find a reason to be around you. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like a lot of people try to find reasons. Like it's just like, man,
that's a good one. Mad at you or be around you. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Like, I mean, think about it though. Like when you interviewing for a job, it was just like, as an example, I was interviewing for this job and the lady, she was like, she asked me, and I was maybe about 5 minutes in. She was like, well, do you have experience in this? I was like, no, but it ain't impossible for me to learn it. I was like, I understand the project management side of it, so I just need to manage it. She's like, well, I'm not sure how you got into how you got approved to be able for this interview. I was like, all right, cool. Well, it was good talking to you. She's like, no, wait. I was like, why are we talking? Like, why is this still a conversation if you've already made the decision to not be around me or to not consider me for this opportunity? So like, okay, it's almost like when I'm in meetings and I'm like, I'm gonna give back 5 minutes, you know, if we end the meeting early or something like that. I would give you your whole 25, 27 minutes back because I can go and do something else and focus, you know, my energy somewhere else, you know. So
now the other part about that is like, so I say this by, like I said, I was just at Shantae's house and he made me feel so welcome. He had everything set up for me, and I was like, oh shoot. And then like I was planning on putting the stuff in the washer, but I was like,
but I wasn't sure that you didn't because that wasn't anything that was put in place to say, well, make sure when you finish, you put the clothes. I mean, Airbnb places do that. They say, hey, put all of the dirty towels and sheets in this section and we'll wash them. We move to the next customer. But I'm not I'm like, yo, I want you to feel comfortable. When you want to come back, And like, that's not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't everybody I'm letting into my crib and just like, yeah, y'all come back and chill. But at the same time, I want you to feel as comfortable as possible whenever you're in your space. So I'm not going to have any, I'll ask you to do something. You say, hey, I don't, you tell me, hey, I don't want to do it. Then I think a part of that is the approach, right? So, if I'm like, if I tell you like, like, even though you nephew and all that stuff, if I tell you, I'm like, hey, go and put that that cover on that light, you'll be like, damn, all you gotta do is ask me, but I do it. But then like the energy is different in the crib the whole time that you hear versus like, hey man, I mean, not to say it's got to be a struggle story, but like, hey, look, if you can you help me put this over here because I'm trying to get this knocked out this weekend, whatever way I ask you. Like, it's all about the approach and being able to do things. And I feel like sometimes my mom's approach isn't the best way of asking. Like once, it's funny, one time, and I didn't know she was coming into town, and your mom was supposed to tell me, but I didn't know. She was coming to Chicago.
Don't.
Huh? Oh, she was coming into Chicago, and I stayed on the south side in Chicago, which is maybe about 45 minutes from the airport. And she called me at like 9:00. It was like, yo, where you at? And I was like, what do you mean where I'm at? Like, I'm at home. I just got home, and mind you, I was in the area of like, I was maybe about 15 minutes away from the airport downtown, or like Wicker Park, Logan Square. And it was me and who I was dating at the time. We left that area and drove home.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? So essentially, she wanted me to drive back 45 minutes to an hour and then drive and take her to another airport, another 45 minutes, and then drive back home, which is like another 45 minutes. And in my head, I'm like I said, I'm a math person. I'm thinking like, that's 2.5, 3 hours. And I ain't left yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I was trying to break it down to her. And I was like, so this is what we can do. I was like, I will Uber you from, because your mom left the car that she was picking up at Midway Airport.
Yeah.
And my mom was coming in O'Hare. I was like, well, this is what I can do. I can Uber you from O'Hare to Midway. So then, and I'm coming out of my pocket of somehow I don't even know, but it's my mom. So, I'm trying to make sure she's good. She was like, well, I don't know nothing about no Uber. I was like, okay, well, okay, this is what I can do. I was like, so you can take the train. The train is right in the airport. You can take the train downtown and I'll meet you downtown from there. She's like, well, I ain't taking no train. I was like, okay. I was like, so what you gonna do? He's like, you gonna come pick me up? I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, your energy, like I can't fuck with your energy right now, and you're fucking up my peace. Like I'm trying to figure out a way to get you there. That if I can get you straight from O'Hare to O'Hare to Midway in an Uber, pay $30.
They got shuttles. Yeah, right. They got shuttles. Yeah. Yeah,
to pay $30 or $40 or whatever to get you there. I don't have to leave the crib. Only thing I'm inconvenienced is the finance. And I care. Like I can figure that out. I'd rather do that than driving 2.5, 3 hours all around town of area that I was just in. And then I didn't even know that you was coming in.
Right.
And then, like I said, it wasn't even Tammy's responsibility for me. That's my sister, not her responsibility to let me know that she's coming in. It's your responsibility if you expect me to be driving you all around the city. Because like I said, we would have just stayed in the area that we was in, drove straight to the airport, and then every drive, all of the drives that we're doing is a part of the process. And I'm driving myself out of the way is 30 to 40 minutes versus driving like 2.5, 3 hours. But it's all like that protecting your peace thing. I mean, she eventually apologized, but I'm like, man, like I'm not trying to have my mom just stuck at the airport. But at the same time, it's like, you're not going to disrespect me and then tell me I got to come and get you. I'm like, nah, that ain't how it works. Right. Like, no, you go come and give it. I don't know nothing about no Uber and da-da-da. I was like, man, listen, the car will be waiting for you you could just get in the car and then ride straight there. I was like, yo, why in the hell would I wouldn't even this is where I think I sent you the link, but this is where, you know, the idea of inconveniencing or me taking your problem and making it my problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'm not making your problem my problem. Like, it's funny. I was telling her the other day, I was talking to, she was trying to get her car, like something's wrong with her engine. And I was going to get her car fixed, but she was trying to bypass it and find another way to get it cheaper. And I was going to do it. And I'm like, yo, I was like, I would buy the engine. I have it put in, No, I told her I buy the engine, and I was like, and you have somebody put it in. She had somebody that was gonna put it in for maybe like $700-900, something like that. And I was gonna pay $3,000 for the engine. But you know, she was like, well, hey, because I was going to our cousin Larry's house, and I was like, hey, she was like, hey, tell Larry to make sure he call Tammy to be able to figure out this veterans thing to be able to get my car fixed. I was like, why are you including me in this? I was like, tell Larry yourself. Call him. I have to drive an hour to go to his house. Like, he stays in Dallas, Georgia, which is like an hour outside of Georgia. And I digress. It was annoying. I was like, Ma, don't add me to y'all problem. Like, just go ahead and call him. And I told him, I was like, yo, Mom said da-da-da. And I called your mom on FaceTime. Like, and we sat up there and talked about it. But I was like, yo, like, that's something. Don't make it a standard or something that I have to do versus something that I want to do, you know, and like you telling me I'm going to do da-da-da, and then you get mad. I was like, how you getting mad at something that's not even my problem or that I signed up to do? So that's the thing about, you know, protecting your peace and making sure that you're not going out of pocket, or not out of pocket, but you're putting yourself out of position to do the things that, you know, that protects your peace. So,
but L, so like you this young man, right? L, how do you how you making it in this world? Like as we build men, and like I see y'all generation, and I'll be like, yo, like y'all got a lot, y'all like career wise, and like making it and staying out on your own and standing tall on your own. How does that work for y'all?
So I actually said this to Uncle Sean earlier. It's from a lyric that I heard from a gentleman named Call D. I believe he's the artist. He says in there, while you're trying to learn how to stay afloat, while you're trying to stay afloat, I learned how to swim underwater. and it's crazy because it's like that's really what I'm feeling like right now, especially being I just moved to Florida a couple years ago. But however, now since August, I've been there by myself. So now I don't have anybody else there except for the community that God allowed me to build and the relationships I've gotten to build while I've been there. Trying to get that all figured out. It is very crazy. And again, kind of even going back to trying not to make other people's problems my problems in the midst of figuring out my own problems, especially like when it comes to our mothers, or my mama and his sister and his mother and my grandmother. Dealing with that type of stuff as well. I'm like, hey, like, I'm not just this little boy no more, man. Like, I am a grown man now. I got to start making better decisions, different decisions without your input in them now.
Okay. So that process, that's what I'm asking you about. What's the process of building yourself to that self-sufficient level? Like, where are you at? Like, how do you like you on that journey? How do you guys, because it's different from me and your uncle. Like, I'm gonna tell you, it's different. Like, as far as how we had to step up and come on our own, because like we ain't have half the stuff y'all got, but y'all have so
access. Access. Y'all got way more resources than we did coming up, and I think that's what Brian alluded to. Like, how do you build yourself to be able to handle that, like with the resources that you have?
Gotcha. First, taking account of where you are, I guess, like a GPS. So you can't get to the next destination if you don't know where you are. And that starts with deep talk with self and God. And then also the people trying to direct you and where they want you to go, having those conversations as well. So my mom came to visit a couple weeks ago. Thank God I was in a position where I got to be able to fund her entire trip. However, I ended up telling her, like, I love you, Mom, but you kind of got to go now, because I'm reverting back into a position where I want to depend on you, and I'm asking you now questioning what I should do next and this, that, and the third. I'm basically trying to let you make my decisions again. And so just understanding that I got to make my own decisions now. And I think it's just a mindset shift. And then two, just getting tired of seeing what it is to be a man in the sense of looking at Uncle Sean, being able to come and visit, and just this exposure of life of like, okay, like he doesn't let nobody. And this has always been him. And I've had this conversation last month. So I ain't gonna hold you up. A lot of time I used to think he was conceited, like he is one cocky mother sucker. Like, and then as getting older, I start to understand and realize, like, oh no, you just really enjoy your peace, and you are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure you maintain that level of peace, whether that hurts somebody's feelings or not. Because it kind of goes to the expectation thing as well of, I can't expect you to feel a certain way by what I say. However, I still need to say what I need to say. And it's up to you.
And then I think me and Sean talked about this not too long ago. It's a difference between cockiness and confidence. Once you've done it, you know you've done it. You can't tell me anything I've already done, right?
Right.
You can't tell me anything. And so with that authority, and that I think that's part of building a man. Like with that authority, like you get that authority. It's like, look, no, it ain't going like that. This is what's happening when you step in my house, right? Like that comes with, hey, I did this, I created this, and I'm there. Now, I wanted to deep dive into you where you were talking about your mom, and like this, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to understand how y'all think about the process, right? So it's like, hey, You take an inventory. I take an inventory of my resources, and then I take an inventory of where I want to be and where I'm going. Does that start with a budget with you? Does that start with, hey, like I know this money is coming in? Like, where do you start?
Yeah, how are you assessing the situation when you're trying to figure out, quote unquote, protecting your peace? How do you, like, all right, he mentioned it, like, are you looking at, well, let me focus on my finances, or let me focus on my network, or let me focus on these things? Like, how do you line up to say, well, this is not necessarily a 5-year plan, but like, how do you say, you know what, this is what I need to focus? And this is kind of what we was having the conversation on. Like, how do you decide, like, what's to focus on first when you're trying to figure out your piece or how to move forward?
Gotcha. Great question. Which obviously still something I'm currently working on. And
I want to know that process. Like,
it's never
working on. I want to know that process.
Yeah, it's never. I mean, sometimes it could be your finances first. Sometimes it could be family first. Sometimes it could be your network first. Sometimes it could be living situation first. Like I'll give you a prime example with me. The one thing I focus. I mean, I make sure the house is good, like, because I need a place to stay. As I make sure the internet is good if I'm interviewing. So I can't interview if I ain't got no internet, So like the internet in the house is always going to be good. Like, I'm make sure my car is good because I got to make sure I can get back and forth to the job. I'm gonna make sure that if I have, relationships that can push me towards an opportunity, I'm gonna try to strengthen those relationships, even if they're already strong. Try to strengthen them even more, make sure I can grow within them. So it's kind of, and then I'm looking at as a certification. I'm trying to make sure I'm adept for the position, or the things that I'm considering. So like, what's your process when you're trying to figure out like your next step? It doesn't necessarily have to be like specific, but it could be like, I look at, I look at, or I'll get advice, or I'm paying attention to this. I'm going to church. I'm building my faith. Like, what's your process from there?
Building the network. Again, I believe that's something that God blessed me with, was building relationships, and good relationships, and finances would be my next step for the sake of me moving here. Our first apartment that we had here was, again, I met somebody in California, and then we ended up moving to Florida together. And the reason we moved there was because of one of her agents. So it was all about the people we knew, and just that happening. And then it was, okay, I need help finances to make this happen. Okay. So that helped me get there. And then also, like, again, with my church and stuff like that, me being in Florida by myself now, I mean, obviously,
you're not in Florida by yourself?
Well, excuse me. So Tampa by myself. I forget you in Orlando. My bad. However, having the opportunity to be able to build that community that I built, at the end of the day, it made people might feel I don't want to say some type of way, in a bad way. However, I know if I really need to go lay my head down somewhere, they're going to let me lay my head down somewhere. If I need some food, I'm going to have food. I'm never going to be without per se because of the network. And I'm thankful that God showed me that as well. That because when I was trying to focus on strictly the money, I was getting very frustrated because I was also thinking, you're only doing this because your mama keep telling you need to go make money. It's just like, but what then do I do with this money besides just spend it? Because you're not teaching me anything past that part of just go make money and then put it away for a rainy day. And it's like I used to tell her, like, well, when we was in Texas, it rained a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like the rainy day to me, money going down too.
Yeah. So essentially planting seeds to make sure that when you're like, as you're trying to grow, you have the opportunity to, you know, if you want to go over here, blah, 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 you have that opportunity. So the first step I would say is you planting seeds to make sure that you have that, those types of relationships available.
Correct.
Okay. That's totally different than what how I don't know, Sean, you might, because I just was talking to him last week and he was putting this process on paper. Well, like he was like, yo, I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna put this on that, and I'm gonna do that on that, and then like I got this money that I got to put on. So like I think I definitely start with the money. I don't have no job. I'm gonna just prefix this. I don't have no job. I am looking to get a job, but I'm more looking to create an opportunity for myself because I have confidence in myself. So like, look, us, if it's one thing I know I can make some money, right? Can I make the money to sustain the way that I'm living right now just on my own? I can, but it's stressful, right? So now I'm looking like, okay, so how do I get the stress off of me? Do I apply for more jobs and see how that go for me? Do I say, hey, look, I can employ some people and then them be my resources to make more money off of them, right? Or do I just say, okay, do I realign all of my business to make money at the front of it versus at the end? So when I get these contracts, I'm dumping a lot more money on the front end than the end. And then like I got to make sure my family's straight, right? So how do I make sure my family's straight when I'm only thinking about money, or when I got these blockers like relationship, and I look at the blockers in my life too, and like I try to put down this roadmap, and like talking to Destiana, I'm trying to figure out where, I mean, like I see, and this is where I thought you was going, L, because like I seen you growing your following online. Like your community online. So I didn't know if that was like, hey, this is the first step in getting my brand out there. And then once I get my brand out there, I can expand on that brand.
It is a part of it. So when I was doing the insurance and investments, I'm not going to act like I still care for social media like that now. I really don't. However, I have
it's important.
That exactly.
How it's important
it really is now, and how much easier it is to talk to 1,000 people in a day than it is to go in person trying to talk to 1,000 people, or just people seeing you, and eventually they're going to come across your who you are on the For You. Or I met actually a mental health specialist the other day at the school. She was doing a speech up there, and I just happened to, somebody asked like, hey, you want to come listen to, we need some people to sit in. I'm like, okay, why not? You know? And I was like, why does she look so familiar? And it's like, oh, I met you at a networking event a couple of months ago. And it's like, that's why. And I was like, I remember now seeing your Instagram photo. It's like, oh, that's you. I wouldn't have had to put two and two together. But, and I know people are also doing that for me as well. Like, oh, like, so if I'm dressed down one day, it's like, oh yeah, you're the guy who's always wearing the suits and dancing on Instagram or something like that. Like, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah. You know who I am face wise. And so that's been helping me as well. Again, so if I do go to any other networking events, that's, as you're saying, the seeds being planted, it's a lot easier to water that and talk to people about trying to grow.
But look at it like this, right? One thing I've noticed within social media, and I mean, I see your videos, see your posts and stuff like that. Just know that it's good to have that. I mean, it has its goods and its bads, and I'm saying that from example, as in, if I post something that somebody get offended by. Like, say, for example, I post, as an example, I might post a stud joke or something like that. Every single stud that's in my following will say something about it. But if I post something about something else, they won't say anything. I mean, I'm saying that like people are always watching, but they're just watching to see how it affects them. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm telling you, like straight up, if I post, I remember Kamala when she was running. you know, and I think it was the joke about, you know, her putting a lot of people in jails in California and stuff like that. I post that. Nothing but women talking about, why are you posting this, you making black women look bad, I was like, yo, it's a joke, you know. But I'm just saying, like, people are watching, especially when it impacts them. So I mean, the post you may be doing, or the post that you're doing, may be impacting people. But like Brian was telling me a couple podcasts ago that this guy that we knew, I think he went to high school with, but we know him from Muskegon. Yeah, but he's telling me how you know, I post my workout, you know, post my workouts and stuff like that. He was like, how that helped him run a marathon. I ain't talked to this dude probably a smooth, I don't know how long, at least 10, 15 years.
Wow.
You know
Since Ipsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that he had seen you in Ipsy and y'all was cool in Ipsy.
Yep. So it's stuff like that. Like, you don't realize that you're impacting somebody, but they may not say it out loud. And that's a problem I kind of have with our people, is like, yo, talk to somebody that can help you. You know, I was telling Elle earlier today, I'm like, hey, look, you know, I'm always going to be here to help. You know, I'm never, like, if you ask me for help, I always got you on that. Like, I pay attention. I see what I can do. It's just like when we were talking about Jay. I was like, Jay would, you know, steal stuff from me. I was like, you ain't got to steal shit. I'll give it to you. Like, nigga, you came to my house about a month ago. I'm like, no, you can take this, you can take this, you can take this, you can take. Like, I don't hold on to things in the regard that, like, if you want it, you can have it, because I have it to give, you know, and especially if I have a surplus of it, even if I don't. We were talking about shoes that I gave him, like a couple pairs of shoes, and I ain't trying to pat myself on the back or anything like that. I'm just saying in general. Thank you, appreciate it. No, I'm just saying in general, like, if I have it, you know what I'm saying, is you can have it. You know, it could be something that I hold in high regard.
But Sean, I don't want you to cheapen that, because, like, I understand that too much is given, much is expected. And so, like, what people don't understand is when you've been blessed, when you have these opportunities, and even opportunities as far as helping somebody get a job, these other opportunities, like, it's you giving back is a part of that journey, right? So, like, I don't ever want you to forget that your blessings help God bless other people, and like that's an important part about keeping the faith. And it's just not all you; it's the vessel that's been working through you, right? And I ain't coming to preach.
No. Look, so I give you a prime example. I remember I was talking to one of the people that became one of my mentors. And I'll kind of give, like, the whole story, then how the things that he told me. But I was looking for an opportunity, 2010 November, and it's fine. And mind you, I had broke up with who I was with, and I was at, like, we had mutual friends, so I was at their house for Thanksgiving at one of her friends, one of the friends I met through her. So I was talking to his grandfather, and I was just having a conversation, like, hey, look, you know, I'm trying to find opportunities. Opportunities keep escaping me. I'm not getting the looks that I want to get. He's like, well, hey, I'll look and see what I can find, and we'll go from there. You know, and I took the conversation in high regard, but, you know, sometimes, you know, I took it as, if he can find something, that's cool. If not, then I'll just keep looking. So we talking like November, that was like Thanksgiving 2010, March of 2011. He hits me. He's like, hey, you know, you still looking for opportunities, I was like, yeah, like, you know, but I had like a job. I was still working for Universal, but it wasn't like paying like I wanted to pay. But anyway, he's like, well, hey, I got this guy. He works for this company, blah, blah, blah. Can he call you? I was like, yeah, he called me, blah, blah, blah. So I get on the phone with him. He calls me like maybe about an hour later. I'm talking to him, and he was talking to me. He was like, yeah, you know, he said you had to lie a little bit, but anyway, he was like, hey, look,
embellish.
No, look, because I had already graduated from college, but from grad school, but the only way I can get the job was as an intern. You know what I'm saying? So I got pulled in as an intern within this company, and but the way he was explaining, he's like, well, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring you in as an intern because I can't get you in as a direct hire for whatever reason. So he brought me in but he was talking to me. He was like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I'll be able to get you maybe like $4.50 an hour. And I was like, I ain't hear this right. I'm already making like 30 an hour right now, and I'm okay, but I'm not working full time. So I was like, and then I call him back, and I think, I call him back maybe like a couple days later, I was like, yeah, I'm still like, okay, this can pivot my career, so let me go ahead and explore and see what it says. So then, I called him back. I was like, hey, did you this job pays $4.50? He's like, I was like, no, it pays $14.50. You know what I'm saying? Which is still, not like low, but it was still, as a got an MBA, got a computer science degree, all these things. But I was like, well, I'll take the chance, blah, blah, blah. Ended up taking the internship, worked for them for maybe about 6 months, and then got offered a position to finally get like some real money. That was the one I was telling you about at $68,000, where the other plant manager hated on me and shit. But anyway, sorry, long story short, I was talking to him, and he was telling me, he's like, yo, when you get into these positions of power, what you have to do is you got to put 10 people above you, 10 people alongside of you, and 10 people below you. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter the order, but he was essentially saying that, we don't do this for our people, and we don't plug people into opportunities that they may be qualified for. Even like we kind of gatekeep positions just to, I don't know if it's the confidence of, or the lack of confidence that they may impact your job or whatever. But he was like, because if you end up getting let go or whatever reason, you could go over here, talk to this person, and be like, hey, look, y'all got any, space in y'all department, or you got like you at a higher position. Can you hire me over here? Or hey, look, even if you have to go the other direction, like, hey, look, you always got a place to get an opportunity from. And I've always kind of like built like that. And it's always the gift and the curse of that too, because, sometimes we're not ready for that. Like we're not ready for somebody to help you. And when I say that, it's like some people, like you say, hey, look, here's this. I remember one, and this is a direct example. I was like, hey, IBM is hiring. Can you, if you look at he's like, what position they hiring for? I was like, look at the IBM website. Here's a link. Look at any position that matches, something that you think you can do. He was like, well, how much does it pay? I was like, I can't. I don't know.
It depends on what you get. Yeah.
I can't tell you how much. I'm not the recruiter for this role, and in that direct instance, and you can look right within the IBM portal. That person didn't even apply for the job. And then I asked him, I was like, hey, and like I said, I shouldn't have to follow up, but sometimes, I just want to make sure people are good, as whatever reason. I'm like, hey, I looked in the portal, you haven't applied. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get to it. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So like I said, it could work against you sometimes trying to help people because they're not ready for those particular types of changes. Like I had another scenario where a woman, I was telling her, I was like, hey, this federal money, if you want to get certified, you're not working, they'll pay for your certs. And she was like, and she was working at Starbucks at the time, and I'm like, I was like, yo, like your computer science degree, you could get this federal money. They paying, like they're giving you up to $10,000 just to do it. And the program is still around. Is WIOA, WIA program. But I was like, it'll pay for your PMP, whatever certification you want to get, and and it'll pay for your classes. I got turned down for it, and I didn't even make a lot of money. Let alone it gives you the opportunity to better yourself within tech or whatever field. And she never applied for it. And then fast forward to 2024, she's still looking. That was in 2015. She's still looking for roles. And I'm like, yo, like you can't let, like in that scenario, you can't let 9 years pass you. Like you gotta want it for yourself as much as, I can't want it more than
you want it.
Yeah. And that was the one thing that was bothersome to me because, even when I wasn't, when I wasn't working in 2024, I was like, okay, let me try to better my career. Then I'm telling her, I'm like, hey, did you ask her? I was like, did you ever apply for that program? She's like, no. I was like, you can still apply for it. It's still there. The money, the federal money is still there. Like, and it just rolls over every year. No one ever goes for it.
No. Some people go for it, right?
Because you let pass.
You let people. You got people in that program before, right?
Yeah. So my bad. Yeah. So that part, I got three or four other people. Rich.
Tone took it,
DJ.
right?
Huh?
Tone got it, right?
No, Tone did get the PMP though, but he didn't get into the program.
Oh, okay.
I got 4 people in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and 4 people, 3 of them got the PMP and the other one got the CAP-M or the not derivative, but like another version of the PMP or a lower version. But it's just like, like if you're trying to better your career, you're trying to figure out things, like I can help you in them scenarios, but you got to want it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't make you want it. I can't want it more than you. And like I said, some people just aren't ready to break out of that mold and understand like the world is bigger than like
what you know. The world is bigger than what you know. But so I'm gonna come back to L, right? L, we here with your resources, man. Like, so like when you say that you're trying to figure it out, I'm thinking that you're talking to your uncle, or you can call me or whatever, and like what resources we have. Because I have a chick that she's in Publix, and she keeps trying to get me to get a job in Publix, right? Now I think she kind of like me, but like I'm not gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to slut my cousin out, but like that's a thing. And then like if you in sales, like you've been doing
get this Publix, nigga. Come get this Publix, nigga.
Yeah. So like I want like, and then I'm looking at chicken
sandwich.
The best chicken tender sandwich. Right? So I'm looking now, L. Like, hey, you just showing, like, while we on this podcast, I want you to look at the camera because you just showing that good side. You know what I'm saying? So like, make sure you look at the camera when you're talking to us, because we see you talking versus you talking to Sean, right? Mm-hmm. But again, like we here to help, and your problem ain't our problem. Like, and like I told Sean before, my job is to make it and be by myself. My job is to make it and have somebody else. Like Jay-Z said, what's better than 1 billionaire? 2, right? Mm-hmm. So like, if we can't, like Dez is working for me right now. So we have some jobs in Florida, but most of them is back in Michigan. Dez is working for me now. I had some Tampa jobs. I don't know what your skill set is, but it's bread on the table. You know what I'm saying?
We literally talked about this today. I was like, Brian being my favorite cousin, I was like, dude, he's very smart. He can help you out with some things to be able to figure it out. Like, I literally said that to him when we was eating lunch. I was like, yo, this is a resource that, I mean, it's crazy that we don't have, I mean, we're family, but it's crazy that we don't have more resources like that to say, okay, I can go here and get help. I can go, like, it's literally within our family. Like, I'll say the tech side is like, oh, I go talk to Tamika. I don't know if you know Tamika Cage. She's older than you, but younger than me, or younger than us. She's in tech, like it's just it, but it's like not a lot. Like everybody else is kind of like, I mean, look, work whatever job that makes sense to you, but you only going to work within what you see what's in front of you. I look at it, I'm like, I wrote on my whiteboard. I was like, I want to be able to make $500,000 a year by 2027. Nobody, like, people look at me and say, you crazy. I'm like, no, like, I believe it's attainable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really believe I can figure out a way to make, I want more. You know what I'm saying? Because and when I told you, we was having a conversation, and I was telling him, I was like, yo, like, I can't survive off of $70,000 a year. Like, my house, I can't even, if I would be in debt trying to survive off of that amount. I was like, but seeing somebody that's in the space that makes more than that, it makes it easier to think, or it makes it easier to know that it's attainable. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you've seen my path. Like, you outside looking in, some things you've seen direct, but you've seen it from DJing, from, me moving to Chicago, me moving to Ipsy, me moving back to Chicago, me moving to Atlanta, we moving, like, me staying in Atlanta, like, oh, I'm in Atlanta, well, let me buy a house. Like, you've seen the growth, directly and indirectly. So it's just important to know that you have resources that are available to you. And this is one problem I have, not necessarily with you, but with some YNs, is that you have those resources available, but you don't tap into them. And it's like, no, you got to figure out, like, how, like what Brian's doing as a business or what Sean is doing within these companies, et cetera, to be able to move forward and forge your own direction. It doesn't necessarily have to be you have to work for Brian and you have to work for Sean and you have to do this. Like, it's just understanding the idea of quote unquote getting money. Like I can't be poor. I don't ever want to be poor. And I've been
Sean, let me jump in on that because like the YNs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like y'all got it yourself, right? Like y'all got it, like y'all will figure it out and y'all don't want that push. Is that the case? Yeah.
I do want the push. And I was actually going to speak on what he was saying in the sense of I think it also goes back to mindsets that we were given, if you will. So like even asking family for help. The reason it's been so hard for me to ask for help, which I'm getting better at now, is because that was something that was embedded into me, especially as I'm in my adult years. The difference between being an adult and being grown, and it was just like, so for the past 28 years, I'm 29, but for the past 28 years, it's been with you. If the words "I'm grown" come out your mouth, that means, oh well, go get you a house, go get you a car, go figure out your own food. Since you grown, you don't need my help. And so it's like, oh, I was kidding. I'm an adult. Then I'm an adult.
It's two different things to that. It's asking for help and being prepared to ask for help, right? So like when you prepare to ask for help, you say, hey, look, I've done this, I've done that, and I've done this. I need your help on this part, right? So like it's how you ask for help, because like if you just say I need help and then like I got to pull it out you, then that's when I'm like, oh, this nigga don't need help, because like I'm asking you the questions to get it out of you. Like, hey, like where you at with yours? What have you tried? Like, what do you feel like? I'm gonna ask you right there on this podcast. What do you feel like you're great at?
I feel like I'm great at building relationships and also just being a good listener. People come to me quite a bit just to talk to me or to help them through things that I'm like, I ain't never been through that, but I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'll do my best to assist in whatever mindset it may be, or if it's like, okay, you need some Jesus, let me go into word with you then. So stuff like that. And then I'm again quick learner on things. If it's something that's like, hey, like, can you try this? Show me real quick, and I'm sure I can figure it out very easily.
It's about communication.
Sorry,
communication. Yeah, I said, what about communication?
Oh, what about communication?
Like, do you think you're a great communicator?
I believe I'm getting better at being a great communicator, for the sake of, again, having that conversation with my mom. Like, hey, like this can't be that no more.
And that's
like,
dope.
I
listen,
love you, but I can't
listen. You can only. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but like you really have to. When you can, mama trauma, but it's like mama say things like, "You think you rich?" And you know what I say. You know what I say to that now? I was like, I do. I was like, you told me that last time. I say things that like, because the thing is, you can only say it so much. Like you get to the defense mechanism, like, well, no, I don't think I'm rich. I was like, no, I think I'm rich, because I think I'm rich in thought. I think I'm rich in being able to get things done, communication, etc. When you get past the energy or the attitude that someone else controls your narrative, then I mean, dog, being independent. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the things that we're saying in between this is like, yes, you have to be comfortable with being able to ask for help. I'm the biggest independent person ever, but one thing I've learned is that I ask, and not to say I expect for you to not help me, but if I ask you, you don't help me, is better than me not asking at all and expecting you to help me. It's similar to what we were talking to earlier as far as having expectations. And it's like, well, no, I can't expect anybody to do anything for me. But if I ask somebody to help me and they say that they're going to help me, now we're cooking with gas. Like, now we're trying to figure out how to help me in whatever way that I need help with. You know, like if it's something that's simple, like, hey, look, and I borrow, I don't know, $20 until tomorrow so I can eat. If I'm telling you I'm hungry, but I'm not asking you, can I borrow $20? Then shit, I'm gonna be a hungry motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like understanding that part of being able to ask that, but at the same time, like what Brian's saying, being prepared and making sure that you're ready to ask those questions. Because like I said, we don't all have the answers. And that's the beautiful part of it. Is like, you ask me something, I'll tell you, hey, look, this is what I think about it. This is how I understand it. It could be my opinion, but I can tell you from my experience, this is what I went through, and this is how I think about it. Not specifically, this is what you have to do to be able to move forward.
Respect. So, and I'm glad you said what you said too, Brian, about the being prepared to ask for help and then also just ask for the help. So that been something that, like I was telling Uncle Sean, I got a lump sum of money, a nice little chunk of change. And I told him, hey, it's been a month and it's gone already. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that too was in that, okay, I should have been asking for help in how to manage that, because I've never touched that much, especially not at one time, so it was like, oh man. And then like, even back to my mom being prepared to ask for help, like she's like, she didn't know how much I got. Typically I let my mom know about a lot of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to keep doing that now. I'm going to now come to you when I actually need the help. Because also that was one of the things of me being the baby, out of the cousins and everybody, I'm the baby boy, I've always been babied, if you will. So being now
I'm sorry. My advice on that is to know who you asking to, because if people don't manage, like my mom is terrible at managing money. I would
that's what I told him too.
Yeah, I would never ask her to be like, what you think about this? This is a lady who told me to get a car note at 17 because like I could get it, right? So like you have to acknowledge, like I tell people all the time, know who you asking for help and understand what they're going through before. Because like I ain't saying Tammy don't know how to manage money. I'm just saying, like we talked about this last podcast. It's like, yo, if you got like $1 million, would you take it in cash? I told him I'd take it in Bitcoin, right? So like,
I want the cash, nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I understood your logic behind it and blah blah blah. But no, I'm taking it. You brought up a great point. Who you asking the question? Because I tell people all the time, like I try to give advice based off of how it works for you versus me giving advice and putting myself in your shoes. And I say that as in, I don't like, if I'm telling you how to figure something out, I want you to understand it from your perspective, because I may do it differently. So I'll give you all it's like giving advice based off of no investment. Because I'm giving advice based off of no investment, because like so you say, hey, look, say I give you $2,000 and you say, hey, what should I do with this $2,000? I'm thinking based off of that's my money. So I'm gonna tell you what to do based off of my money. You have $2,000. I'm giving you advice off of what you have and what you can do with it. But yeah, I'm still thinking about it, not necessarily as is my money, but I'm thinking about it on how you can invest it or do whatever you want to do to make it work for you. Right. Because a lot of people think like a lot of people will give their opinion based off of bad decision that they would do. So you got to be cautious. Like when Brian was saying the car note at 17 is crazy. like nigga, I still don't
know what all comes with it, right? You got car note plus insurance, and like you learn about total cost, right? You be like, oh shit, I was not in the right position to do that. But
Brian, I had a $1,000 credit card that I didn't know how to manage, bro. Like I couldn't imagine having a car payment that.
Well, I had the Jeep. The Jeep had to come. Like I had to get it. I was out there.
Yeah. But listen, nigga, I got my first credit card. Nigga, I ordered 3 pairs of Wallabies from London. Like my mom was like, "You don't take that shit back." Like, nigga, I took two of them back and kept one or whatever. Like, nigga, like that shit. And that was before Wallabies was even in the States. So that shit was like $170 each. So that was $510 right there gone off a $1,000 credit card.
And I'm gonna tell you what it was. You thought that credit card was your money, right?
Yep.
Like it's your money. And I tell people all the time, because I learned on how money moves and how we live in a capitalist society, and you make money off money. You don't necessarily spend it all, or and all that you have access to ain't yours, and don't spend money twice, right? And like people's like, wait, what you mean spend money twice? You be like, hey, I spent this $85 on the credit card and gas, right? But then you also spend the $85 in eating, right? So now you minus what is that? 170? Yeah. You minus 170. You had the money and you spent it twice.
Yep. No, that I never, and then you add that interest and all that stuff to it too. I mean, you better off just pay. I mean, I want to get to the point in life where I don't have no credit cards and I'm just spending cash and debit. Like,
I don't. I'm gonna spend everything on credit, and like people be like, "Why?"
Are you about getting all the points and stuff?
Nah, especially before I die, right? Because what I'm gonna do is I having your credit. So Shantae, the reason why I say that is because like I want to do a multi-million-dollar deal, right? And they like, you got 800 credit score, right? But I've never did a deal more than $200,000-$300,000, right? So how do you because you got to keep building it out and showing people that hey, you can do it. And then when I do I ain't gonna say it on this podcast because I don't want it to come back to.
Yeah, man, fuck it, shit. Put it in the hair like Beanie Siegel, nigga. Like,
but like, so like, it's a Ponzi scheme, right? On your credit, right? You can run it up, and then, hey, I can't afford this, but I got enough assets that I done gave to people that wealth is generated from, right? So that's why I say I don't ever want to be I want to be in a position where I'm having this credit card and they be like, dog, you got $1 million some dollars in debt. Hey, you know what it takes to be $1 million some dollars in debt? You know what I'm saying? Like that's some work.
Yeah.
That's some work. And you get there with these having assets and leveraging assets and stuff like that. So like I'm playing the money game. If I can take, and the money game is like this, and I'll tell anybody this. The money game is like this. If I can use your money and make more than that money costs, then I'm making money. And I say this by like, if I go do a house, I do a hard money loan on the house. I say, hey, look, I need $110,000. I take the whole $110,000 out. It's going to cost me $17,000 in holdover costs, right? But once I sold that house for the $200,000, I made $70,000.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm gonna use somebody else's money to make more money because you can. What I've learned is like, if you don't have access to capital, you can't do big deals.
Yeah.
You can't do big deals. So, but you got to have access to capitals, and having access to capitals is actually having access to debt. And you're like, how does that work? But you got to make the money work for you.
Myron Golden talks about that a lot. I don't know if you're familiar with Myron Golden. He's a business mogul he's from Tampa. He talks about that a lot as well, using other people's money. He's like, if I can take 50,000 of your dollars and then I can use that 50,000 to make me $100,000, I still gave you your 50 back and I'm up 100,000 off of your money, and I didn't have to use none of my own. So whatever I have invested is still building up the way it was building already.
Jay-Z.
Like, oh yeah, that too. Yeah, him too. Yeah.
So I
mean, maybe he gave him 55 back because ain't nobody giving you. Like,
right.
It's just business, like it's funny. Like sometimes I feel like we get lost in the sauce on like owning versus like how do you build within the ownership, right? So and I say that like people say, well, Jay-Z, he sold Tidal, or he sold Rockaware, or he sold all these things. I was like, well, he sold it and bought something else and kept going, bought something else. Like, it's kind of like, but he was using other people's money, then having the investment in it and then selling his part and then making more money than doing the same. I was like, people have a love-hate relationship towards Jay-Z anyway, but one thing you can't say is that he's a dumb dude. Like he understands how to get the bag, get in, get out. I mean, at one point in time, I think he was the president of Puma. It was like, have you heard like, I'm like, what the, like, you wouldn't even think it, like Puma, like of all brands. I'm like, okay, well, then now you don't hear about it because, I mean, he's still associated to it, but I mean, he doesn't take it. I mean, Jay-Z, when you think of Tidal, like you automatically think of Jay-Z, even though he sold his shares in Tidal, like you automatically.
But even that transaction, right? He sold his to Square. He's on the board at Square now, right?
Yep.
Square is Cash App. Square is like, he got with Jack Dorsey and was like, wait, I want to be a tech mongrel. Like I want to be a tech mongrel, not just a artist. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what I like. Us being on this call, and Shantae is my new CTO of 13 Integrated Data Solutions, and we gonna rock this because there's equity and there's value in tech, right? And when we show people how much money we can make, and at the end of things, then hey, it's worth what we say it's worth.
Yep. Hey, let's take it a little light. We've been talking about money and shit. So one of the things, one of the topics we got, I think it's funny, but how do you realize when you're in a bad neighborhood? Like, what are the telltale signs of being in a bad space? Of where you feel uncomfortable, or you got to get the hell up out of there, or that you
don't necessarily have to feel uncomfortable. Well, you don't have to feel uncomfortable, but it's like, when do you know you rolling in a like you know what I'm saying?
I tell this story all the time, nigga. I remember I moved into my Chicago apartment. I was moving back to Chicago, and actually Uncle Joey helped me stack up the U-Haul. But I'm moving back to Chicago. I drive the U-Haul from Ypsilanti to Chicago. Get to Chicago. I got movers in Chicago. We unloading the car, and I set it up. I was like, okay, well, I mean, I ain't got to get too intimate in details, but I set it up. I was like, okay, when I get back, I have everything unloaded off the truck. I have the movers take things up the stairs so it'll be easier, less expenses for me. 2 hours moving, boom. So take all of the stuff out of the truck. Movers get there. They start taking stuff upstairs. I'm walking with the mover, and the mover is like, hey, hurry up. Let's go upstairs. Like, we got to go upstairs. So I'm like, what the hell going on? Next thing you know, I hear pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I really, that was a telltale sign. But anyway, because he was like the mover, like we upstairs and we talking, like, but we kind of ducking and shit. And he's like, yeah, dude just walked by us. Like, cause like, like Chicago, like buildings or houses, like it's like real small, like walkways in between them.
Yeah. So they're not touching. Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially he was like, yeah, this dude just walked by and said, man, they out here. So the dude walked by him, like on the phone as he's carrying stuff up. He takes the stuff up. He comes back down and be like, yo, we gotta hurry, get upstairs. Boom. We go upstairs, nigga get shot. I called the owner of the building. I'm moving in. I'm like, nigga, I'm grown. I ain't trying to be, in this. You know what I'm saying? And then she was like, well, she wasn't the owner. She ironically, my mentor, it was his wife, and she controlled, like she did the house or the apartment control or whatever. Property manager. And she was like, well, he didn't die. Bitch, I'm just moving back. I'm moving here and I'm moving into an apartment and the nigga gets shot in front of my apartment as I'm moving in. And you say he didn't die. And the crazy part about that, like 2-3 weeks later, he did die. He got shot out there again. He got shot and died. And I'm like, yo, like, I was like, I didn't sign up for this. So blatant, but those are telltale signs for me that I was like, okay, I gotta get the fuck up out of here soon, and I was shit. I ended up that's when I ended up moving to Atlanta. But I had to get.
How long did you stay there, sir?
That was shit, probably like 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I know, because I've stayed in different areas of Chicago. That was South Side. Then that was like 70s and like MLK or Martin Luther King. And then but I stayed in Wicker Park, I stayed in Logan Square, I stayed in Lombard, I stayed in all these different areas around Chicago, and that was the worst.
Hey, now how do you say it was the worst? So like when driving through,
because the nigga got murdered.
Hey, but how many people that got murdered back home?
That I witnessed.
I mean, but like around the corner, D-Man shot somebody. Like around the corner from your house on Houston, D-Man shot. D-Man shot the kitty corner from the house. D-Man
got the fuck out of there too.
I don't see that neighborhood, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga, I got the hell out of there too. Shit, nigga, I ain't trying to be around none of that shit, man. Like, like I'll say this one thing: a telltale sign that it's it's scary, but a telltale sign that that you living in a good neighborhood is seeing the motherfucking white man walking with his dog and his shirt off, just walking down the street. That was today. That was walking into my house today. Man, shirt off, shorts, walking his dog, like welcome to the neighborhood type shit. I'm like, damn, nigga, like you are ambitious like a motherfucking shit. You saw that shit, right? Yeah, he was walking down the street, like literally when I pulled up and shit. Like, yeah, because he was in the car. Like he was literally like when I pulled up, you had back then. And he was like right there, like walking past as soon as I pulled into the driveway. Shirt off with his dog out. You know what I'm saying? Or if you see a group of white people riding bikes, like that's how you know your neighborhood is about to be gentrified. Like so,
YP bike riding.
Look, if a group, I ain't saying like one.
Group
I'm saying, look, the bike club, like the HOA put together a bike club, and these niggas to ride together in one neighborhood. And I remember one time I was like, what the fuck? Like I was like, yeah, here comes the neighborhood.
Well, see, I know, like, if I see a lot of boarded up buildings, a lot of like closed businesses and stuff like that, a lot of people just sitting at the stores, like that's when I know there's something going on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I'm feeling like, hey, maybe they ain't investing in their community, or maybe this is the hard part of town or whatever. But I was talking. The reason why this came up is because I was talking to a lady out here, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, this is a good neighborhood. And I was like, well, they tell me that they're making drug deals across the street from my house, right? I live in the suburbs, right? And I was like, they tell me that they're making drug deals out here in the park. And I was like, maybe drug transactions. I don't think they drug deals, because like I had to tell her, I was like, there's a difference between a drug deal and a drug transaction, right? A drug dealer is somebody you might not know, and you going to ask him for drugs, and he's going to pass that drug to you or whatever. Mm-hmm. But a drug transaction may be, hey, I left the drugs here, and you put the money here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I see happening here. If these are drug dealers, I've seen some sketchy stuff, because I've seen them take the parkers across the street from my community parkers across the street. I've seen them take a bag and put it in the trash, right? Mm-hmm. So just take it back and put it in the trash. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
no money touches hands, no drugs touches hands. It's like, oh,
yeah. It's no hand to hand, right? So I was like, that's more of a drug transaction than a drug deal, right? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, and I was like, because when people tell me about bad neighborhoods, they be like, it's drugs, it's people out here. And like, I got a lot of people, not just white people, walking and going around my neighborhood. I got a lot of Indians out here now too, going around my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So it's white people and Indians just out here having a good old time. Nobody says hi. It's just all goodbye. like don't bother me type stuff.
Hey, so let me ask this question. So like what constitutes, because I look at it like this. If I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like a bad neighborhood constitutes me feeling danger versus like say for instance, if the neighborhood is sketchy, I can live in a sketchy neighborhood, but I don't want to live in a neighborhood that, like, if I go outside, I might get shot or
rob, right? Yeah, a rob. Yeah. Like, yeah. So
I'm okay with the drugs, honestly. Hey, do what y'all want to do, shit. Yeah, look, as long as you ain't breaking into my car, my house, and shit like that, like that's y'all lifestyle. Like that's what y'all do to survive. Because I don't feel like. I think the movies or TV makes it a little bit more heightened as far as the what's good about it, but I really haven't spoken to anyone who was like, I love to deal drugs, or I like this lifestyle, or I like killing people. Like I feel like they're literally living the survival they're living on what they feel is how to survive. So.
Right. I mean, us growing up where we grew up, we knew those people that made decisions to do what they did based on. I don't think Hicks really needed to sell drugs, but I think he wanted that lifestyle that those drug dealers had. But I will say like this, I was watching the Allen Iverson, and the reason why I say this, the Allen Iverson doc on the Prime, right? He lived in the hood, but like he didn't feel he never felt in danger. He felt like this he had a good life. He had a good childhood. Yeah. And that's the way I feel about where I grew up at.
I didn't feel unsafe at all. Like and that's but that's like growing up in an environment where you know who likes to fight, who likes to do all of the things, and it's like we just kids, or we just growing up, and we don't, like I said, I've never touched a drug where I was like, okay, let me consider selling drugs. I never even, but I knew who did. I knew who was doing what.
I mean, we have family members, right?
That's just me being aware, because we have family that was, a part of it, part that used it and stuff like that. But it was just something that I chose to not be a part of,
So L, now you in Tampa, like I'm gonna tell you, I think Tampa's soft as shit. You know what I'm saying? I look at their hood and I be like, oh, this really ain't no hood. South St. Pete. That's more like some of them cats don't care. I can see that or whatever. But like, do you recognize danger, or like is Tampa wide open for you or what?
Yeah, so
nigga, I'm scared of danger, nigga. Like, nigga, you could be. I mean, I'm gonna let you go, but like, nigga, like if it's partial danger, nigga, I don't care if it's Tampa, nigga. I don't care if it's Muskegon. I'm nigga, one time I was at what's the school Morehouse, and I went to go see the high school dunk contest when Zion Williamson was in it, the McDonald's All-American, and motherfucking dog, the auditorium is like right here. There's a street, and then there's crack houses. Right there, like literally, I saw people going in and out of Vacants type of shit, and I was like, damn, do I park my car over here for free, or do I park over here for $10 and shit? Nigga, I ate the 10, nigga. And I was like, nah, nigga, I ain't about to be like literally vacant. Like had not curtains, but like sheets up. You know what I'm saying? Going over the window. Shit. But my bad. Go ahead and jump in.
You straight. However, I will say for the most part as well.
Talking to the mic.
I would say for the most part as well that, and hopefully no Tampa niggas want to fight me because I say it, but I do feel like a lot of them are pretty soft as well. They do a lot of more of the talking and whatnot. However, I would say the last place I was living at, reason I was like, I wouldn't necessarily say felt like it was dangerous. It was what it was. I say what's up to the dudes every time. However, when I was like, oh yeah, I don't care to stay in this area, was I went to the corner store. I think it was like 6 o'clock in the morning. And this is a whole bunch of niggas out there, and it's like, yeah, I got them things for the low. I'm like, nigga, 6 o'clock in the morning. You trying to say?
Look, good morning, nigga. Look. You have to. If you about that grind, that's why I tell people drug dealing is not a because like I said, they not glorify it, but they'll just make it look that good. And I was like, yo, you got drug dealing is like business, big business. Like you got competition that you got to deal with. You got territory that you got to deal with. You got clientele you got to deal with. You got the police. You got all of these things, and it's like
you got other federal agencies.
Listen, you got the risk is way larger than the reward. You know what I'm saying? I remember they had to start changing the laws because they were saying how people was getting caught up for weed and they was getting charged like they was selling coke. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like shit. Now, and it's crazy to me. I still don't understand how they haven't even gotten to this point. But just imagine weed is legalized in some states or in most states, but it's niggas in jail for selling weed. It's like these niggas should be out.
They didn't decriminalize it. They legalized it. They didn't decriminalize it. So you would think that they would start. The effort would be to decriminalize it now. So where people that been in jail for selling weed, they would get it knocked off, get it freed or whatever. But Sean, I go to a Magic game. Orlando. I used to live downtown Orlando. Now, when I say hood adjacent, they got this. They got the hood is Paramore. Like, and I tell you, like, and I'm gonna tell you, in Florida, I'm sorry, like y'all, these niggas are scared of cold versus being like, but I know hot people, but like they scared of cold, so it's hard for me to take them serious, like a British rapper, talking like, oh, you.
Oh, no, look, them niggas will shoot you, Bumby clot your ass, nigga. Like, I don't
whatever. It's hard for me to take them. It's hard for me to take them.
No, it's hard because they speaking in a dialect that you're not comfortable with. Them niggas are bust your ass. Like, look, I remember watching this interview with I remember I was watching this interview with Cameron. He was talking about how him and his crew, he's like Freaky Zeke, all them niggas. Like, he said he was doing an interview and everybody wasn't able to get in, so like they ran a KFC, like his crew ran a KFC. He said that his crew walked into, like, this in Florida, he said his crew walked into KFC like, yo, we New York niggas, like, whatever, we in front of y'all. Said like, cut these niggas in KFC. Said these niggas left or not, went outside. When they came outside, boxed them in, had like Tech 9, like larger guns and shit, like not shotguns, but like large big ass guns. It would not let them out the area until Freaky Zeke gave up his chain, and they was like, y'all here because of him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I don't look. The hardest part about niggas in the South is niggas in the South don't talk. So, you got to worry about it. Like, I'm more worried in life about the quiet person than I am than the loudest person in the room. That quiet person will fuck you up. You don't know.
Right. But like, I park in the hood because I'm gonna be honest with you. It don't feel much different than home. You know what I'm saying? I park my expensive car in the hood, right? And like, they was like, yo, you ain't worried about it? I was like, yo, take it if you want to. It's insured. You know what I'm saying? But this, my people, I'm okay with my people. They don't scare me. I like when they walk down acting like they tough, I just be like, what's up? Like, dog, like,
but here's the thing though. Like, a lot of people don't understand this, right? It's like, I thought this was a great lesson, or not a great lesson, but this is a great thing that they mentioned that I understood, I identified with when they were talking about it on The Wire. One of the things that Omar said is that we don't put guns on the he said we don't put guns on the I forgot how he phrased it. They don't touch anybody outside of the game. Right. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, like, if you're not a part of it, you not go catch the brunt of it. Like, I remember your brother, bro. Like, look, Jay, like, nigga, like, I used to walk, like, I stayed in the neighborhood, I stayed in Logan Square, and in Logan Square, it's a lot of LKs or Latin Kings. Walk past these niggas on a regular every day. Like, I stayed over there for probably about 4 years, and see these niggas every day, say what's up to them, blah blah blah, boom. Jay walks up to him one time, and Jay's not in, like, he's not affiliated. He go over there talking like, he's saying he's a GD or a gangster disciple. They beat the shit out of his ass. Beat his ass. Like, he got hit in the face with a Hennessy bottle. That's what mom was calling him, Hennessy, for a minute. Mm-hmm. But
Hennessy Jay?
Huh? But listen, like, I see these niggas on a regular basis every day. Talk to them. Don't even, like, the only thing that you ever had to worry about them niggas, if anything, is like, you just don't wear nothing with a crown on it. So like, you can't like wear like a Biggie shirt and then Biggie got like a crown off to the side. And them niggas take that king shit to fucking heart. Like, I remember one time I was doing a Daddy Yankee in-store special for Universal, and my guy, he had on a some shirt with a crown, and this dude, like, this is the first time I ever heard like shit called out. I mean, I knew of the black gangs, but like the Latin, like, them niggas like live by that shit. Like, that shit is a fucking code that you just don't fuck with. But this nigga had like some crown on his shirt, and the dude was like, he said his set, he said his name, da da da. I was like, but he said it so fast. I was like, yo, everything good. He's like, no, man, just keep walking, we good. You know, so essentially, like if he had engaged them, be like, yo, nah, nigga, this is my shirt, da da da. You know, we'd have probably both got our ass beat. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he's like, well, keep it moving. Like we ain't trying to get it. I'm trying to fight them niggas over your shirt, nigga. Like what the fuck? But I'm just saying, like, niggas take that shit serious. But the thing is, if you're a part of the game, then you could be the op. But if you just a regular, like you say, you park your car over there, they ain't gonna fuck with your shit because you know what? That brings more heat to them. You know what I'm saying? Rather than it's crazy. It's just more like with violence. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas get killed every day. Be like niggas is shooting each other like all the time. Like on the south side and west side and all that stuff. But when it's like a fucking 75-year-old white woman get killed at a Starbucks, shit shuts the fuck down. Like that shit is over. Like
I didn't went too far. But
so.
Saying that, like Chicago is the only place I ever been checked like that. Well, I wouldn't even been checked because I don't wear hats. But my cousin had a hat on when we went to the corner store, 71st and May. I think Cicero. I think the store is on Cicero and 71st. He had his hat. He was like, "Yo, you gonna have to turn that hat around, homie." And I'm like, "What?" Like almost the same thing that happened in what was the movie with I think she pretty Michael
the Wood.
Yeah. Almost the same thing. I'm like, no,
I think she pretty.
Yeah, but and then like it's a
Sorry
respect.
if I had to beat your ass like that the other day.
But that little nigga got hard. That little nigga got hard.
He's like, man, usually time be slow, but not today. Time is on crack today. That's literally one of my favorite movies ever.
Hey, it's a coming of man movie, man. Like, that used to be one of my joints. But like I don't feel I'm hood. Well, I'm from the hood. I'm hood adjacent, and it don't matter to me. Like sometimes the hood have more community than being out here in the hills. I don't really know my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? My neighbors are cool.
Values. Yeah.
My neighbors is cool. Like I do know Robert, but we ain't never gonna have dinner or nothing together. And my other neighbor, he from Boston. He cool, but like I want to say his name is John, but I don't want to commit to John because then I'll say it. And you ever try to get somebody to say their name and you be just like you don't know how to say it? Like,
hey, listen, Brian. Look. I have a hard time, I don't even think it's age, nigga. I just don't remember people's names. No, like I look at, and I think white people age like spoiled milk at times, and I just can't, like even at the reunion shit, I can't, it was some people that I didn't know, but some people I knew right away. I was like, I don't remember that dude. But then all the black people, I knew it. I knew their faces. I ain't gonna say I knew their names, but I knew all of them from high school. But some of them, I didn't.
Well, we only had three.
Like Joe Trigg ain't changed one bit. Like Joe might be a little bit more cock diesel, but Joe literally still had that same baseball shape that he had 20 years ago, type of shit.
And I mean, how many white people we have? Like 3 or 4? Like
yeah. And I knew like 2 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, kind of we got into that conversation last week about the trauma or whatever, but like gunshots don't really scare me. It's how close gunshots are that scare me. Because even in my neighborhood, these cats be shooting out here, but like I think they get a party and they just be like boop boop boop. Like but
it's not trauma though.
Hey, I know how to run from gunfire. I know when gunfire is close to me, and I got spidey sense. Growing up in the hood,
that was the topic. It wasn't trauma.
You
was impacted, and it was a lesson learned, but that's not trauma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, she said trauma was not be in fear when your life is in danger. I was like, yo, my life ain't in. I know where the gunshots at, right? So like it is way over there. I know where I'm from. We have community rules. We only shooting at the people that we trying to get. We ain't just is that a why
innocent? Yeah, no. Listen, nigga, dog, I was DJing one time in Lansing, and this nigga got shot right in front of me. Like I'm DJ booth. Dude is standing in front of the DJ booth. Somebody shoots him. Dude dies. Club shuts down. No more club. Am I traumatized from that? No. Am I lesson learned? Yes, and that nigga trauma, that nigga dead. That nigga ain't lived in 15 years. Like that, he was impacted by more. Like I'm just like, well, maybe pissed him off. Like I can say I've been desensitized to a lot of things, but no, that ain't trauma. But I know at the same time, I was like, well, let me be on guard next time I'm DJing, because like he was literally like, it's the DJ, like it's DJ turntables and him standing on stage, his party I'm DJing for, and he got shot. And then the dumbest shit ever. Party? It was his party? The dumbest shit ever. Niggas came to me like next year. They was like, yo, man, we got to do a 1-year anniversary for our cousin dying. Da, da, da. I was like, yo, you want to do it in the same spot? Wow. Was he paying you? Was you the one paying you? I got paid. I mean, it was amongst. I was DJing for the club, and he rented out the club, so okay. I got paid one way or the other. So
okay, you should have got that insurance.
I got my money, but that's just been closed ever since. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, damn, a nigga died like while I'm DJing the party. Like I can't remember the song was playing, but like a nigga died. Like could have been moved them, throw them bows. I don't know. Shit, it could have been something. Shit. So, a funny story. I mean, we'll jump back on topic, but nigga, I remember one time I was doing a sound check, same place. I was doing the sound check, and this white lady, who the owner, I was doing the sound check, and I was playing 8-Ball and MJG, and the song goes, bust a nigga head, smack a hoe, shoot the club up. Bust a nigga head, smack a hoe, shoot the club up. Bitch, nigga, bitch, nigga, bitch, nigga, bitch, nigga, you don't want drama. You like, and it was funny. She walked up to me. It was funny. She was like, can you not play that song? Like, I'm talking about like this. Ain't nobody's in there. I'm just doing the sound check, trying to check the speakers and stuff like that. And she was like, can you please not play that song?
Hey, that's why Memphis was the birthplace of crunk, because that's what they said was crunk music.
No, that song was so reckless. Hell no.
The shooting though. So when I had my truck, so it's obviously back in Michigan. I was with one of my boys, my brother Sincere, actually. We was rolling up in the truck or whatever, It was out front. They went in the Jets, and we were right in front of his building, whatever. Some dude like walked behind the truck and went like close to behind the buildings, but he didn't go all the way behind. He was like peeping his head around the back. So I'm like looking up in the mirror, like trying to see what he got going on. Like I'm a little confused. And then like pop, 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 pop. Like I'm watching him shoot like around the corner. I'm like, I'm about to put the car in gear and move him. He's like, hey, what you doing? I was like, this nigga shooting. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, he right here. Like, that's what he's like, he's like, nah, bro, you good. He ain't flinch. He ain't look up from the shot. He's still just rolling his. And he's just like, you don't even know who it is. Talking about he good. And then like, so when Buddy stopped, he ran back across the street. He tried to get in the door. I guess whoever house was at, they locked the door on his ass.
Hell yeah, locked the door.
To get in. And I'm like, dang, that's crazy. And I looked at my boy. I'm like, bro, you really did.
And he's really desensitized.
Did anybody get hit?
Honestly, I don't know. Like,
no, he said, did y'all get hit?
Oh, no, we didn't.
No, I said, did anybody get hit?
Okay.
Not that I know of, but I was more concerned because I remember hearing kids playing in the back earlier. So it's just like for you to go and just be shooting around the corner, like it's like, dang, that's kind of. And he wasn't shooting up, like he's shooting down. So I'm like, that's kind of weird.
He was shooting at somebody. He definitely confirmed that was that nigga, and then he was like, pop, pop, pop.
Mm-hmm. And then my boy, he probably was more desensitized by the situation because that was more like the lifestyle that he got shot. He got shot in his shoulder. He came to school, bullet still in his shoulder. Like
that's crazy.
And he's like, when the dude shot him, he's like, bro, he said, I think he shot him like a 22 or something. He said it was something little. So he just like, when he got shot, he kind of like didn't know what was happening. He's like, what the? He turned around and like, dude, looking at him like, oh shit, like took off running. Like, it's like that's why I don't mess with.
Did nobody even give him the Ricky? Did nobody even yell?
That's why I don't be around the gangs, yo. They shoot each other and shit. Hey, let me ask this question. And we'll jump because I know we getting there by the time. But one question I want to ask is, and this always comes up, and this could be, like what's your opinion? Because we was kind of talking about this at lunch. Is like, what's your opinion on like specific pronouns and things of that nature? I can't remember if we talked about this, but I'm just curious on like addressing, like, you're talking like and then also to a part of that, like trigger words, like Are you triggered? Like if somebody call you a bitch or somebody call you a nigga or somebody, then, when we say the pronouns, you say like gay people, they say like they or them or he or like whatever pronoun that they address. But what are like, do you get triggered by certain words if they're directed towards you, Brian, as an example?
Oh yeah, I like whenever some Southern white dude say boy to me, I instantly go black. Like what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm instantly offended. I'm instantly offended by a flag. So like if you out here running this flag around like these Trump flags that be running around here, I'm sorry. But I instantly get offended with this mega stuff. I'll be like, yo, I'll turn that hat backwards. I'm almost like one of the niggas in the hood. So yeah, I definitely got trigger words. I definitely got trigger images. But like that boy, I ain't nobody boy.
Boy is crazy. Like, one thing that really it probably shouldn't trigger me, but like when somebody say something like you silly. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, nigga, I ain't silly, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck you mean? Like I'm like it automatically goes in my head like or like you stupid.
Yeah.
Like that shit I don't really like. You silly, you can probably get by with, but be like you joking, you stupid. Nah, nigga, like I don't like hearing that shit like one bit. Because I feel like sometimes you put words out there that you put them out in the universe, and you, not to say that I want to say not that it doesn't matter, but it feels like when you say that, you're automatically like it automatically triggers in my head like, nah, nigga, I ain't stupid. Like that's automatic.
The subconscious doesn't know the difference of playing and not playing. It just hears the words, and that word has a meaning to it. That's why I'm very mindful of that. You're like, don't call yourself. I know you playing. Don't say that. Like, nah.
Yeah. Well, see, I know I'm also triggered. Like I was at the court, and like these younger people, they quick with the B word, right?
Yeah.
And this dude called me bitch and act like it wasn't a problem. Like,
no, we can't just be sliding the bitch out there.
That's mine.
Like that's definitely a trigger.
Like, no, them are fighting words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like your mama.
We have to do fisticuffs, young man. Right. I challenge you to a duel.
Yeah, straight up. You bitch. Who you talking to? And I'm going to get him because I'm triggered.
Yeah, we must engage in fighting activities. Right.
Yeah, but he said, man, we playing a game and you want to get all this serious. I said, man, ain't nobody no bitch around here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what? Yeah. Like, and everybody coming for me not to get a hold of him. You know what I'm saying? And I got problems with that. Don't touch me. Like now I'm really triggered. Don't touch me. Get him. Don't touch me.
Yeah, no, I don't play that bitch shit. Like I can. Nah, I can't.
right. I can't play
it's one of those like I had to learn, to pull back, on just overreacting or anything like that. Just because most of the time I'm thinking now I have more to lose than they do. Mm-hmm. So like I always gotta be like I try to not outwit, but I try to not necessarily be the bigger person either, but I just try to not engage them, but yet, still, I don't know. I guess a lot of it is it worth it? Like, is this person even worth it? Like when somebody says I'm silly, you're like, I know what I am. You mean nothing to me. So it don't like I got another trigger. George Zimmerman lived in Sanford, Florida, which is a suburb of Orlando. Mm-hmm. Dog, I really wanted to kill that nigga. Mm-hmm. And I said this on his whatchamacallit. Like I wanted to flip and really get, and I was like, yo, for the culture, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did he say?
George Zimmerman?
Yeah.
Hey, so George Zimmerman is my man who shot Trayvon Martin.
Oh no, I know who he is. No, I'm saying, what do you say to trigger you? Like,
no, it's just.
Oh, you just want to fuck him up based off of who he is as a person.
Yeah, he could have killed my son. You know what I'm saying?
That like that's on site, right?
on site with George Zimmerman right now. Nigga. It's on site. Because I can't see how I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't see how he's still living.
Yeah.
That is
to do that to somebody's child, and that could have been it. Like, it's hard for me to understand how he said. I mean, yeah, that's wild.
That nigga would be like, you see George Zimmerman, and then they be like, okay, let me take this.
These ain't Skittles, my nigga.
Yeah, and I know he packing, so I gotta get him. I gotta get him good at the beginning, right? So I know he got a gun, so I gotta show him what it is to be a gorilla in the mist.
George Zimmerman got to catch smoke. That's funny. No, I get it though. You know, what about the words like they and them and you know, within the gay? Like I said, none of us are gay. Hopefully, no, I'm just no. What are y'all feelings about? Because I feel like sometimes we try to not rewrite history, but we try to make things that sometimes we're trying to redefine things that are already defined. So I say either create new things to define it, or, you know, because like saying they and them, like, and I'm a big advocate of say my name or you know, versus like I have to address you as they and them and stuff like that. Like, I mean, if that's what you go by, then cool, but don't persecute someone that has their own definition of it, if that makes sense. So
if I can start on that one, because what bothers me is with the they, them, again, my faith. When I hear they, them, I think of when Jesus came across a man who was possessed by all those demons. And he said, our name is Legion. And so when I hear they, them, I'm thinking, now you got some demons in you. You talking about, because it's like, it's just one of you right here talking to me. You talking about call you them? Like, who else is here with you? Like, I don't like that. And also
I think of it just plural shit, nigga. Nigga, you can't be more than one. Like, I mean, you could be larger within, like, you could have a group that you're a part of, but like taking, like, it's just like saying we, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, it's just you.
Right.
I don't know. It's just this shit. Like I said, I can't clearly define it, but at the same time, I address people, you know, by their names, or I don't even address them by their sexuality. I think that's just sometimes stupid, where it's like, I want to know the person. I don't care about who you fucking, what type of shit person that you want to be with and stuff like that. The shit I worry about is motherfucking pedophiles and fucking sexual predators. Those are the things that, like, I'm more concerned, rather than the actual, like, what type of they, them, he, she, like, you know. And I think it's just called the learning part about it, in my opinion, is it's like, and I was telling Elle about this earlier, is that I think I mentioned it on an earlier podcast or on an earlier recording, but it was a time where I talked to one gay person and he said, I prefer being called queer. And then, but he was a little younger, maybe 10 or 15 younger than Sid, who I do a podcast with too. But then I talked to Sid, and Sid is like, nigga, don't call me no fucking queer. And I was like, damn, shit, like, you know, like what is it? Like, I mean, so I was like, how do you define it on like, because if I call Sid a queer, he go fuck me up. If I call this person, I mean, but they're still a part of the same community. You know, it's no different in like the homosexual part of it or the gay part of it. So it makes it a little bit difficult to, like, how do you define it when there's no true definition, because this person has their own definition, this person has their own definition. So
somebody else said a good lyric too. He said, the devil has his own agenda, and it's working because we don't even know our genders. Like, he said it better. It sounded that was still a bar though. That's crazy. You're very right. We really don't.
I mean, we getting into the point where, like, I don't know what's the difference between gender and sex. Like, I don't know, and like I ain't even I don't subscribe to none of this shit. I just like, whatever, nigga. You are him.
I think they're the same. He said I think they're the same.
No, gender is what you identify. Sex is the biological.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
yeah. So like,
no, it's blurred lines now. It's how do you, like you said, how do you define the difference?
Whatever. I don't see if you start adjusting yourself, and like my thing is, I'm like you, Sean. I don't care who you go into your bedroom with. That doesn't concern me. As a human being, I'm identifying you as a human being. I don't see multiple people there, so I don't know why you say them there and whatever. You are you and I am me. You me. You know what I'm saying? We go on the rush hour on that. I'm you. You are you. No, I ain't.
Hey, look,
I'm me.
Look. If you're a fuck nigga, I address you as fuck nigga. I don't address you as that gay fuck nigga. I don't address you as that heterosexual or that straight fuck nigga. You are a fuck nigga in general. Like we don't gender based fuck nigga shit. Like if you it's like,
I just but you are what you look like to me. So we coming up to, we got 2 minutes to talk. So let's go ahead and get them last words out, Sean.
All right, cool. Well, I'll say this. I think it's always important that if you're trying to figure out your path, you got people that you can come to in general. Like, and if you don't have those people to come through, not just you specifically, like I'm speaking to the audience, like if you don't have somebody, find somebody. There are always people that can be your advocate, can be in your corner, that's willing to help. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because I always say, hey, if I ask you and you don't help me, then it's like fuck you. But if I don't ask you and I expect it from you, then that's on me. So that's one of the things I always like to preach. And then too, with the whole gender thing, like just be kind to people. Like you ain't gotta like I don't need to address you. Like don't get more caught up in trying to find reasons to separate us. Try to find reasons to put us together. What about you, El?
Knowing who you are, I guess that kind of goes into that as well. Also, just going back into the guarding your peace, protecting your peace, and knowing where you are and knowing where you're trying to go in order to ask for the help, because you can't help me get somewhere if I don't know where I'm going. So,
but the dope part about that is, even if you ask somebody and they may not know, they may know somebody that can't help you. So it doesn't hurt to, even if you're asking a resource that, I want to say asking a resource, but you're asking someone that they're not the resource that you're looking for, they might be able to get you to that resource as well.
Respect.
So what about you, Brian?
Always take inventory of yourself. Like we talked about earlier, like you never know where you at until you take inventory of where you at in your resources, identifying resources to take actions, and then knowing what you want from those actions is half the battle, right? And then build a plan and execute. I'm of the nature to say, look, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. What do I have to get to where I'm going? And start from there. So last week, like I said, I'm gonna box me in to being a better version of me every day. So like as a man, and
I like that box in.
I'm gonna box myself in to be a better version of me every day. I'm really sorry for people who feel like they are they, them, and other, because I know I am him. I am me. So like I don't want to. Like I said, I don't subscribe to that, but I'm not trying to neutralize or degrade who you are. So I want people to know that. That's my last words of who I am and what I'm going to be.
All right, no doubt. Well, thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you want any topics for us to cover, we can always drop that in there. But as you said, be dope, be who you are, protect your peace, and make sure that you being a better person or a vessel for someone else that can use that help. Thank you all for listening. Peace.